Hey, everybody, and welcome to the UPSB Talkshow. I am Reason, joined today with Fang and
Yo.
Sui.
Hello.
And sadly, we have some news to share about Hobby today. Why he's not with us. Sui, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. I'm guessing Hobby's just a bit
Fang
down,
and
Yo.
Sui.
a bit sick today, and so he wasn't feeling up to it for the podcast because originally we were going to have four hosts, but since we have Fang here, Hobby decided to leave this one out. But he's still helping out as like he's still what is it, like promoting the talk show, and he's hosting the live Twitch stream at the moment as well. So he's still here if you guys want to ask him any questions. But Fang,
Yeah, let's get to Fang. So, you want to do a quick introduction?
Sh-
Yeah, just
sure,
talk about
sure.
yourself.
Talk about myself, sure. All right. My name is Fang, administrator of UPSB. Like most of you guys know, spinning for 7 years now. Mostly very interested in two pens, one hand and shit. Um, if you really talk about myself, like I am actually a graphic designer with specialties in like animation, comics, and graphic design in general. That's what I do. That's also like why I'm very interested in video editing, and yeah, I think that's about it. I can talk about hobbies, like weird hobbies, like I actually do ballroom dancing. Fun fact.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I don't
It
think
actually
Hobby is that weird. I think he's a pretty cool guy. You know.
Yeah. Um, you want to talk about maybe some of the spinners that influenced you when you started out?
Well, when I started out, I always refer back when I started out, I was actually the Buster generation. Like when I started, the Buster was like out of the charts. It was the mod to get. It was like everyone's favorite spinners. Like spinner beam was like very big, and he just like yeah. And so I started learning with a Buster, which is actually really taboo. Actually,
It was
um,
pretty weird back then. It was pretty weird
yeah,
back
it
then.
was actually it is, and I actually started really like without. It was actually a style within pen spinning that was like not having a style at all. If you started out with a Buster, you didn't have style. That was like a fact.
Huh.
Well,
I,
although when I started, there were a few span spinners who really influenced me. Like I had like if you imagine this, like I had my first year, I learned a few tricks, and then I started really get into it. And the first span spinners I actually looked up to was the first one was like Arior, like no doubt that guy, like not even because I met him like after 3 months of pen spinning. It was like uh yeah, like I actually like he was like if I look at his videos, it was like just one fluent motion. And
Oh yeah.
I wanted to do that. He was like my idol right away. um but then
yeah.
actually like the most span spinners wanted to be a certain spinner, and there were like a few styles that were really influenced in the new people. And I actually like the special snowflake, like I am. Um, really, really wanted to be something different. So I actually went to search for different spinners, and I end up with a Japanese span spinner called Zezo. Don't know if you guys know him.
Oh,
He was
I
in
re-
tribute to YouTube too.
yeah, I remember him. He still wows me to this day. He does like all those weird sonic clips and stuff, right?
Exactly, like that guy with like he's actually, I think he's the perfect example of like a Kamsa, an unmodded Kamsa spinner. Like what he does with pen, it looks so easy, but if you want to try it out, be my guest. Um, like well. then there was Bai Mai, because obvious reasons.
Of
Yeah,
course.
Baima was pretty. Baima was the one pen two-handed.
He was actually
that
one of the first pen spinners who actually brought those concepts in the world tournament back then. So he was like, I had I made a video that actually refers to his like linked combo, where he actually had his hands hold together and make a combo. I actually made I had a combo influenced on that. I used that for the team tournaments, where I actually let my thumbs touch each other and actually never let go during the combo.
I think I remember that he did one where he like linked his thumbs together and then spun like that. It was one of the tournament videos, I think. But yeah,
Exactly.
I did.
His one was really short, and mine was actually, although the concept was a little bit different, it was a little bit longer than that. And yeah, the last spinner that really influenced me was a Belgian pen spinner called Kizel 8.
Yeah.
Ooh, everyone remembers him.
And like, it's not really because the spinning itself. Like, yes, his flush sonics and his linkages were like off the charts if you actually could see what he was doing. Like, because the speed was also incredible. But like, what actually most interested about him was more like he had his own style and he just went with it.
Yeah.
Like more like a bit like, fuck the haters, I'm going for it. This is my thing, and that's what I really admire about him. Yeah, and the last one is like fire at Fox,
Oh yeah, he was great.
and
Yeah.
that was purely because his flush sonic variations, which are still like a very main thing in my pen spinning. Like, I actually, when I was like within 2 years of pen spinning, I actually learned a lot of his flush sonic variations video, and all my linkages after that are based on those.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right.
That's awesome.
Well,
Well, thanks for sharing. Do you want me to move the talk show along, reason? If like I'll follow the
yeah.
topic.
So I guess next thing we could talk about is what's happened this well, it's been 2 weeks since the last podcast because we took a break because we're all realizing it's actually hard to organize these every week and keep doing them and stay fresh. So since then, big news, Hobby put out the fall CV.
Woo!
Yeah, which I was a part of. What did you all think of that? You enjoy that?
Yeah, I actually I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I was actually, when I looked at it, I was actually really sad because I actually, like, I heard that it was organized and I thought, yeah, that will be a pretty much decent collab, but it was actually really good, and I feel bad for not actually trying to sign up or anything. I think that's a little bit of my bad luck. Like, every collab, I think, oh, I can pass this one, really gets really good, and there's a collab that's like, where I think, oh, this one's going to be really really good, and I summit something, and then it's not that good as I thought.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, it's hard to trust the hype. I mean, it's difficult to tell just based on the signups and by the description whether it's going to be a decent collab or not.
exactly. So yes, I actually made the same mistake with Walkas, his personal collabs.
Oh yeah.
I was actually invited for, like, I think the third one, and but I couldn't film because of like personal reasons, and like I couldn't get anything good. And then I looked at the collab and I was like, God damn it, that's really good. Like, I've been asked to be a part of this. Why did I skip this?
Oh yeah, I can understand that. Oh yeah, we've got actually fall CV playing now. Sweet. Thank you,
Oh,
Hobby.
awesome.
What did you think about it, Suey? What was your opinion?
I liked it a lot. It's Well, personally, because I'm more on the morning side of pen spinning, and I feel like there are a lot of flashy, overdone, like collabs, but 4TV was really nicely done. You know, it was everything was minimal, just to the point where it was enjoyable. The graphics, you know, the music, and kind of like the flow or tempo of the collab itself was pretty good, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just realized it's kind of interesting because like we're all pen spinners, but I know that we've all kind of like focused on different parts of pen spinning, so we all have kind of like a different angle to approach like viewing a CV from. But yeah, personally, I really liked it. I thought there was a lot of quality spinning in it, especially like for I think it was pretty much all UPSB members, maybe except for a couple.
Yeah.
which is
And
rare though.
yeah. Um,
Like
all the communities are so sparse now. We have to kind of conjoin together to do anything.
exactly. Well, I'm actually really happy with these kind of projects. I mean, the spinning is very good, very clean. But I also really like the leaves when the name is coming, and also the light effects within it. It's actually really small detail, but like
It suits it pretty well. Like it
it really suits. It's beautiful.
Okay, so moving on from full TV, there was also the Vancouver gathering, which a few old spinners attended. Hobby, Awesome, Jamie Ends, Dark Rose, and Exclusive were the spinners that were able to attend the gathering. It was Hobby also released the video for that. It was a short video of them spinning and hanging out in like a shopping mall, I think.
Yeah, that looked like a really fun time. Makes me want to go to a gathering.
Yeah, same. I kind of miss gatherings.
Oh
Me
yeah,
too.
you
I
should though.
really
I
miss
mean,
gatherings.
um, yeah. See, I don't get the chance to do it as much. Can't make it up to the city all the time.
Well, try organizing a gathering with like I think 2 people spinning in your country.
Well, I mean, your country is a little bit smaller than mine, but I can understand it.
Like, well, I actually I last a few weeks ago I got an invitation to meet some people in Germany, and I heard Eve was going to be there, and Jolly and Nashi, which I met before, but I was like, ah, I want to go there, but no, like still, it's still like although it's only 4 hours of traveling, I still need to use the public transport. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah. Um.
and and I want to meet you, random strangers. Uh,
Thanks, chat. All right. Well, did we want to talk about Baron's incident?
which, although I should be laughing at it, which I thought was really funny when I saw it in like in the document. Like I
Oh,
think
Sui, did you wanna? Oh well, yeah. So
Sui.
yeah, Sui's gone in a second, but yeah, there was a picture going around on online. I think Baron had a little bit of an incident. I don't know how true this is, but it's gotten written in our little Google Doc here that Baron's finger got bitten by a corgi. Baron, I'm sorry if there's any misinformation here, but condolences to your loss.
Wait, do we have a picture of that?
I don't have one. Maybe Hobby may be able to link it for us because that'd be. Thank you, Hobby. Yes, thank you. Um, all right. So I guess without anything else, we can get into the topic of this session. So the previous topics have been what is it about spinning in general, like our thoughts on spinning specifically. But this one's going to be more about editing, especially when it comes to collaboration videos, which is fortunate because we have a nice editor with us today, Fang.
Really?
Um,
Oh,
yeah. Well, you want to talk about some of the stuff you've edited, and it doesn't have to be just pen spinning, but if it is pen spinning related, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yes, I actually within editing, yeah, I did a few. It's actually you can compare it with like name tags. I did professionally a few videos, few animations for companies, like fact videos. That's what I actually did the most, and that's why I actually got what got me into editing in the first place. Um, yeah, talking about it. Well, most I have to say, although I do consider having quite some knowledge about editing and stuff, uh, I'm actually embarrassed by the amount of lack of knowledge I put into my own videos, which is sounds kind of sad though. But um, like I can talk for hours about like everything from the nameplates, animations, from lineups, and then sometimes I look back at my collabs I edit and I thought, why didn't I follow up my own like tips and tricks?
Oh,
Well,
I mean, that's the worst thing, is not being able to live up to your own standards. So,
exactly, and the biggest problem is I have quite very high standards when it comes to my stuff. So that's why there are also I think I have 2 or 3 collabs or videos I actually edited, but never made it to YouTube.
oh, that's kind of sad.
It is. It was only I think yeah I had to cancel a few because like no one actually submitted. I tried to organize just Fang seconds, but no one actually summoned a combo. Literally no
Oh,
one. Um,
we gotta hype it up again. We'll use the talk show to do that, and to ask for
well,
entries.
I was actually interested in actually organizing a collaboration right now, not to edit it right now, but just to state everything like deadline and everything, uh, and actually never place it anywhere else.
Huh.
So everyone who knows about it, who knows about this collab, has to get that knowledge from this video, this podcast.
Oh, this is an interesting surprise. I don't know if you. I mean, we could probably fill that information at the end, so people, can wait till the end to get that information on deadlines and stuff. But that seems like a really good idea. I think that'd be sweet. I'd film for you.
Also, I have to apologize. I think it's actually true. When I uh, tried to make Just Fang second, Hobby was actually the only one who submitted. It was not no one. Hobby actually submitted. Alleen, like he was the only one.
Oh man, that must have been a sad moment, but
Well, actually, no, really. It was also kind of a test. Like I never put any. I uh placed like a group chat, and then I actually invited everyone for that collab, and then never spoke of it again. It was also kind of an experiment to see if people would actually remember, and they don't. So
yeah,
learn that the hard way.
yeah.
But yeah, but
Um,
it's not really a bad thing. Like I'm very interested in getting trying to get collabs to a different level. So I'm actually thinking about doing my next personal collab, not really as a collab, but more like an interactive experience, not through YouTube, but I'm trying to write like my own app for it. That's the plan.
huh.
uh,
Okay.
and it's actually the interesting part about it is that the idea is that people can go to their website and actually get an interactive experience of the collab of the project. So like the order and like the name tags, everything will be like seen very differently than we are used to in like normal videos. I want to bring the user within the experience,
I
and
think that
I'm actually very interested in different ways how I can do that, because like of course videos are like made from only one person his point of view. Like everyone summons a combo, and one person actually said, "This is the order. These are the name tags and everything."
oh, so like almost like you can design your own collab with the pieces that are there?
Well, that's one of the concepts I have.
Huh. Well, I think that's a great idea because we've got such a straightforward idea of how to view pen spinning right now, which is why it's like
Exactly.
it's hard to get like different ideas out there. I mean, when someone does something like, a stand up or like stage combo where, you see their whole body and, usually it's like a snow style combo where they're spinning two pens at once or doing different showy tricks. I mean, it's not necessarily anything less than normal spinning. It's just a completely different type. And it's the same way that like, what you're talking about, viewing a CV like that rather than, viewing it all as one rock solid video that can't be changed or can't be seen any other way.
Well, yeah, and like I actually want to try to do something like a Vine project. It's like I mean, then I have like an own collaborating video, but it's like split up in longer terms, so you don't get all the combos and everything like the same at the same time. You get only combos once in a while.
Hmm.
For example, you actually that's the idea. Like everything is still in concept phase, but the idea actually is to bring a different kind of yeah, a different kind of feeling within watching the pen spinning. Because not saying I get tired of collaborating videos, I just think they at a certain point they feel really like it's the same rhythm. It feels like that's not the problem within pen spinning or like the editing. The problem is within like when I watch vlog videos, I get the same problem. They have like the same thing that works, and when it works they will reuse it like
It becomes a formula.
exactly.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's like you really want to get out of that, especially if you want it to get more popular. And it's like that's not
Well,
necessarily what we want, but
now no, popular is not the thing. I'm just curious in like, hey, look at my pen spinning. I'm not here to get popular. I'm here just to get like inventive.
well, I mean that more in the sense where just getting more people to be able to look at it and enjoy it. One thing that I've always been curious about is like how to get non-spinners to enjoy pen spinning. Not that I want to force it on them, but no non-pen spinner is going to watch a collab all the way through like and stay interested unless they're going to become a pen spinner. It
That's true. Like the collaborating videos are very like community only property,
hmm.
and that's also a very interesting thing to explore. Like when something is interesting for someone who's not into pen spinning, I personally think there have been some commercial videos who did that, who used pen spinners. And well, the fascinating thing about that is that the videos aren't really about the spinning itself. It's more like of an extra thing uh, they're
It, it's
using.
it's like an eye
They,
catch.
exactly. Uh, yeah. So the idea is like how to combine those two, like how to combine uh, like the eye catch people have from non pen spinners to watch pen spinning, and the eye candy we get when we see good linkages and good hybrids and tricks and combos.
Hmm. All right. Well, since we're still like only a little way through this right now, well, let's talk about some of the components that are important in a collab video. So like for me personally, I've always found that the collabs that have the most effect on me and that I enjoy the most are simple edits, like not too flashy nameplates, but smooth transitions and especially matching with good music. It's got to be music with like a decent beat that the spinning matches to, and that each transition follows a transition in the song as well. Um, and that's really all it takes to have like a good collab for me. I mean, obviously good spinning too, but that's like as far as the edits are concerned. So, what's your take on that? What's like some important elements?
Well, I think a good uh, a good collaborating video can be brought back to. I think Aerosert brings it back really good to the basics, like have good music in combination with good spinning and right at the right timing. The transitions, uh, like if you combine those things, that's enough for a good a collaborating video. Like Aerosert already proves that. Everything else is like a good extra eye candy.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good.
I think that's about it. Um, like he really Arsert is like is so really known into like have a good lineup, like have some good videos you can use in combination with yeah like well syncing spinning styles with the music. That's perfect. And transitions, although he doesn't really use um, really flashy transitions, they are cut at the right moment. Like I sometimes see I had that within, I think it was Japan 11th, I think, at a certain moment, like Sister R and Hull, their combos were like cut in and out while they were still spinning, while there was still in motion. And somehow it didn't feel like it didn't felt really, how you can say that, like it didn't feel really done. Like it was like they could still be spinning like
Oh
until
yeah,
today. Like it didn't. I got a feeling that the most amazing, if you show a combo, I think the most one of the most beautiful things also is like where do they start and where do they end.
yeah, exactly. You need something to catch the eye and to keep them interested, and then you need to leave them with something that's very impressive. And there's nothing worse than like that unsatisfaction when like a combo is cut. You just like you can't appreciate it fully. You need to see that completion, the fact that they landed it. That's a lot of work that goes into it.
Exactly. And like the combo Sister Art and Halt did in that collab, that it was exactly like that. I still had a feeling it wasn't done. It's also a very big part of a combo structure. I think like one of the biggest parts of the ending of the finisher is actually that you catch it and that the pen is still. That moment.
Yeah, it sounds kind of poetic a little bit. Um, so yeah,
I'm a philosopher, so that's okay.
yeah, Sui, I know that you're more into modding, obviously, but I know that there are some collabs that like you appreciate more. What makes like a good collab to you?
Personally, I think a collab that looks good is a collab that if you showed to a person that has never spin before, whether or not they enjoyed it. I mean, there are basic things, like Fang said, where the music has to, at least match the kind of spinning that's going on, the transitions, the editing, the flow, or even the overall feel of the collab itself, like whether or not the collab had a theme or not, such as like a Halloween theme, a New Year's theme, or even like for summer. Um, I think that's the most important part for a collab. And then once you've figured out that, you can build upon it, rather than making it, because I think we all know collabs that have been edited. I mean, they've been edited way too much, and it kind of distracts you from the actual spinning itself. It's like it's more of a show of the editing skills rather than the pen spinning itself.
I think you can compare it like with movies. If you within a movie, if you go within the storytelling aspect, you actually mostly bring it back to one motion that always comes back uh, within a movie. Like if you take, for example, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Momentum.
Yes, yeah.
If you actually take the part where he actually makes pictures of everything, and you
Mhm.
only take the motion where he takes the like the little photograph out and shakes it before he can see what he has photographed. That motion is like the whole basic for the whole movie. It's a metaphor for what he is, for what he can do, and for what will come. The
Yeah,
complete movie can be brought back into that motion. And I think within pen spinning, it's like with editing, and especially when you work with a theme, it's like the same thing. If with editing, like that also brings it back to like a really basic editing. Uh, one motion, one little thing that always comes back. That makes it a whole.
yeah. Well,
And
that's
most
similar.
people most people do that with like the name tags. But one of the things, like one of my favorite collabs, did that with like light streaks. It was like Sarchak Star Drive is what the collab is called. Uh,
Yeah,
and it was like with the light streaks, like it was really beautiful. But it works that way, and I'm not sure if I explained that correctly though. But I hope you
Yeah.
guys understand.
No, that
yeah,
actually
no,
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
It was good. It was a good comparison.
So like,
So
yeah, go on.
all right, yeah. So we've covered, music transition and most of it. But what were you gonna say? Reason?
Well, I thought that a good like example for this, like a difference between those two types of editing that you have is, I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was Supowitz probably 6 year solo, 5 or 6 year solo, where he had Tech edit it at first, and everyone saw that, and a lot of people were upset with it because it used like dubstep. It had a lot of flashy transitions, and sometimes like the combos were cut or would zoom in. There'd be like lens flares, and it was still like a lot going on with the editing, which I mean would have been cool in some cases. Like I thought Weapon of Choice was cool, but
I like that. I like.
a lot of people still had problems with this the solo video, especially because it was super wet, and a lot of people wanted to see it for the spinning more than anything. So I think later on, Tai Chi from LPSA asked to do another edit, and his edit was trying to be very simple and very like very simple transitions made to sync the music to the pen spinning, and that got some good reception as opposed to the tech video. I mean, like I don't know if you guys remember that at all, but that's a very apparent conflict for me that's been going on for a while. It seems like people have made their choice with the simpler edits.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get what you mean, but like I see tech more like of the type of editor that actually wants to edit for like the non pen spinning audience.
Yes, I could see that.
Like I mean my problems with Weapon of Choice was mostly the cuts in the combos to zoom in and zoom out, and
Yeah.
uh I it wasn't. I mean, I actually wanted to see it because of the pen spinning, but I actually got a lot of edits, and I actually really had to focus to see what was going on, and I think that's something you don't want. Uh,
definitely. I think it
as
was.
as as an editor, you actually want to be invisible. Like the people need to forget that they're actually watching an edited video. They just need to get into the pen spinning itself. Also,
Oh, that's a good
also
way to put
being
it.
well, it's like also the same. I have my principles are lined up with movies mostly. So within a movie, you actually have to forget that you're watching a movie. that's what you want. You actually want to that people forget they're watching a movie, that they're actually there. And I think if you can compare that to pen spinning, you don't want to refocus. Actually, like it's proven that if you in editing, if you cut from one shot to another, it takes the human brain takes like 3 seconds to rearrange what was going on, and to use that, and to accept another shot. So that's why when there is a cut in like when there's a cut in like a video, uh, in a movie, it mostly is like one, like for example, a guy hits another guy, like that's quite obvious to film. But uh if you actually film that, you the first shot is the guy is already with his fist close to his face, but then you go to a close up, and you see that the fist is actually farther away from his face than the last shot. They do that so that the audience can get their brains can get back into the movie, so that it doesn't take any moments to realize what happens. But if you actually cut a video in pen spinning, like if I do a thump around and you actually cut it right away where I did a thump around, uh, when I do another trick, the brain actually skips that trick.
Yeah, it's interesting because like we're focusing so much on something fine movements in this, as opposed to like in a movie where you're kind of looking at a whole picture. Like in a movie, especially if it's your first time watching it, you're looking at so much at once, you're trying to absorb everything, so you're not really focusing on a single thing. But with pen spinning, you have to focus, like at least with an experienced pen spinner, you're always focusing on like that specific part where the fingers meet the pen, because you're trying to see what they're doing each time.
Yes, and that's why it's exceptional important to use this, just because you're actually focusing on one thing. So that's
Yeah.
why it's more important. So that's also the reason why I don't like cuts in the middle of combos, or like at the beginning. uh I want to see the combo in a whole, because I get really confused when it gets cut right in the middle.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So moving on from that, do you want to since we've covered most of the components of most of the components of a good collaboration video, do you want to move on to the topic of the European podcast, the idea?
Sure.
Do you
I
wanna-
don't know if there are
Yeah,
any questions or anything, or
So Hobby had the really good idea. So okay, so I think most people know that the original podcast was, I think, with Hobby and a lot of other spinners a few years ago, and I mean, if you haven't already planned a podcast or done anything similar, it takes a lot of time and effort to try to get everyone on at the same time, and trying to like fix everything or just planning in general. So Hobby had the idea of basically possibly having a kind of like American, like a US podcast plus a European podcast that would alternate each week, allowing each kind of team to have 2 weeks. I mean, to have a week in between each podcast to think of ideas, and it would also be a bit more time zone friendly for Fang, because I mean it's almost 4 a.m. for you at the moment.
well,
In
yeah, it's almost 3.
3, yeah. So so for me, it's only 10:30 a.m. in the morning. For reason, it's probably a bit later. It's about 8 p.m. Is that
Yeah,
right,
it's 8:40 right now. Yeah.
8:40, yeah. And then for Fang, it's like the middle of the night, early morning. And so having
I actually shouldn't be talking this loud at this hour. That's actually
But yeah, the idea of having a European podcast would allow maybe some European viewers and the European hosts to kind of do their own thing. Plus, it'd be easier because of the time zone differences And yeah. So, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I've already said before. It's like I think that this is a good idea, especially if it's I don't wanna say it's like different opinions necessarily, but just for having like a different time zone for people to catch the live stream, I feel like that'll help it catch on more. Because more than anything, I just want like some amount of people to enjoy this. Um, I'm not sure how long it'll last necessarily, but hopefully it'll be for a while. And there's always new spinners coming on too. Who'll probably want to take places if any of us get tired of it. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you actually want to do the European one, you guys actually made a few suggestions for guests. I think I need to involve like Germany in this.
The entire country of Germany.
Yes, just the entire country of Germany. No, like the community.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's actually that could be a thing. Also, I might have if I get back in contact with like Left Finger, I might get the French to join as well.
Yeah.
that'd be
The more
cool.
the better.
So
The more the
many
better. Yeah, because
accents.
it's because of the whole even like the whole culture of different pen spinning boards can have a pretty interesting like effect on the way spinners view like each spinner's different views from different boards, so yeah, it'd be really nice to see, 'cause since the reason Hobby and I were predominantly on UPSB, we're kind of just doing our own thing, whereas maybe GPC or FPSB have like really cool things to share with everyone.
Yeah, well, they might they might have like what I'm more interested in is like the collaborating between the communities. I think because we lost the World Cup and the World Tournament these years, uh, I I I miss some sort of like a hole. Like we don't have like yeah, we had Spinfest, but it wasn't really it didn't have like the feeling uh it had like it used to have.
Yeah, like the flair, like it was so
Like
popular and kind of like
the flavor of the previous Spinfest was really good because all the communities were like really hyped, and actually I saw the collabs and there were really good ones, but some like the feeling isn't really the same for some reason. Uh, well, that like so yeah, so the like it would be amazing if we get more communities into this podcast. Uh, that's what I think is the most interesting thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
who knows? There might be an Asian one at some point. Actually, didn't I hear that Shaddix has a podcast or something? I'm not.
uh,
I'm not sure if
I
that's
haven't
true.
I didn't heard about that.
I don't think I've heard of that either, to be honest. Maybe if you or someone else might know of it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Hobby saying that he linked it on Twitter at some point. Um, but yeah, I think that's interesting. Maybe we could collaborate with them sometime if they care at all. Although the language barrier might be kind of difficult.
Yeah. It's like when like two TV shows combine together, like or two animated series, like join
So they
and
do a
make one episode.
crossover. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Family Guy and the Simpsons joining together.
Oh yeah. Hopefully we're gonna
Wait,
be.
but are we the Simpsons or are we the Family Guy?
That's the name of the
Well,
episode right there.
we have to fight for it. We've got to fight for the rights. The best team gets to choose. The best team gets to choose
Like
their series.
we're going to have a rap battle about pen spinning. Like it's gonna be amazing. Like
Oh, actually, Fang, have you seen the rap video with Miku? Did you remember Miku from the old pen spinning?
like isn't that pen spinning underground like like Twisted Sonic, jump around, pen spinning underground. What
let me
was
try
that?
let me try to find it. It was just
I
like
don't.
it
I
was
know
like
what
a
you're
Skype
talking about
call.
actually.
I actually I vaguely remember something like that. It was really it was really old. I think it was even like UPSB V3 stuff.
Yeah, it was like
It
a
was
It was the Skype call of like Leon and Miku and a few other spinners, and then Miku started rapping. It was really funny. I'm trying to find it though.
I actually I remember that. It was actually really funny. But yeah, that's actually those are the things that makes me really feel old.
Yeah, like all those funny moments, back in the day.
Yeah, somehow like I can also say the internet has changed for some reason. The people on in the internet, like we used people used to do those kind of stuff like weird videos and like weird rap videos and stuff about everything. And right now everything is blogging and everyone is
Yeah.
trolling. Like, what is this?
Well, that was kind of like the weird thing about it is that earlier on, especially when like the first younger generation, like the first generation to be raised with the internet, like no one knew what to do with it. No one knew what worked or what formulas like appealed to most people. So you just end up with like this weird shit that no one really understands. It's like people trying to be funny or weird or entertaining, and no one really knows how to. But like it's kind of,
and it was glorious.
yes, it would like that's how some amazing stuff was made. Some of the best like cringe videos are because of that. I mean, not that everyone likes cringe, but it's beautiful.
Chocolate
Yeah,
rain, like that stuff. That's the good stuff.
yeah, that stuff like from the
The
spawn of the internet, like the first part of the internet, that stuff's still like so popular. Like I don't know, weird like Crazy Frog. What?
You know, there's like the videos that went viral like in the early days of YouTube. Those YouTubers now are like thriving because of that, fame. Like like Nigga Higa is one
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
guys.
yes.
Smosh is also one of them.
Oh my God, they've got like an
You know,
empire.
yeah, just like all those early day YouTubers are just like they're they're leading YouTube now. They're like, I mean, since I've been here from the start, they just have like roots in YouTube themselves, and yeah, or like
Yeah, like yeah, I remember I actually started watching Niga Higa really like from the beginning. Like I know that guy from the videos How to Be Ninja.
oh,
That's
I haven't watched that. How to be gangster
that's
and how to
it
I
was
remember those.
how to be emo. Like
yeah.
Oh my
Even
God.
his
E is for emotional, ruins everybody's day. M is for miserable people. O is from on the dark side because we have some fresh cookies. Like I still sing that sometimes.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was,
you, like
but that's really like I saw like an interview with Ryan Higa and also Ryan Higa's his mother. Actually, they started out like that idea. Like we had a video camera and we have like a place on the internet to put all our videos. What the hell are we going to do with it?
Mm.
see
And they were
that's
like,
fascinating.
and they were like, let's do very idiot videos. Uh, and it worked somehow. Uh, but yeah, I actually miss kind of miss those things.
Yeah, I mean,
It's all about like everyone wants to be what everyone wants to be like blogger or vlogger or
uh,
uh
I think it's because what is it? Nowadays there are so many YouTubers now. There are just like hundreds and thousands of popular YouTubers, and it's kind of, if you don't see it, then you won't know. Whereas back in the day, when something went viral, everyone knew about it. That's why it was such a big thing back then. Whereas nowadays, people are making videos and they're getting 1 or 2 million views, and that's a normal thing. Like, to be honest, like the only big thing that could be compared to like the earliest days of YouTube is the Gangnam Style a few years ago. Remember that?
yeah, that was a true that
Yeah,
was a
like
true viral.
yeah, that was just insane. People went crazy for it.
Well, now
Exactly. And
it's all based on like social media now. Everyone shares something on Facebook, and it's like you just get memes after memes of the same thing, and like that's how those really get famous. Like there's shit that's gone viral on Facebook, and if you're not on Facebook, you wouldn't know any better because they like rip it off of YouTube. It gets like 1,000 views on YouTube, and then a couple million on Facebook just from people sharing it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really get annoyed by. There was a video, a music video by one of my favorite bands called OK Go.
Oh, I
Uh,
remember that. Yep, yeah.
these guys had like they made a video about in like a in an airplane with no like with no gravity.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and like they actually put that on, they didn't put it on Facebook, someone else did, and that guy got millions of views. And
Wow.
these guys on YouTube, like uh yeah, they still got a lot of views though, but not that much. And that's what, yeah, that's really annoying. uh what I think is unfair to the original creator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of viral videos on YouTube are just downloaded and then reposted on different channels without any credit. And those Facebook videos get millions and millions of views.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But you talking about like viral videos and stuff. I actually checked the numbers, and do you know how many subscribers you need to make YouTube your full-time job?
I'm gonna say it's a bit lower now. Like I'm gonna say it's lower than what it used to be because of so many people. I mean, because of the way YouTube works now. Would it be
Ma-
around five
Make
hundred
make
thousand?
make it how many?
500,000?
Well, actually, you need if you get weekly 200,000 watchers,
Yeah.
subscribers, like loyal subscribers, then you can make YouTube your profession. And
Um,
when I heard that, I thought that's not much. And
yeah.
then I went to check uh on like those channels who actually have those, and there are like hundreds, thousands of small YouTube accounts that actually live from YouTube profits, but only have like 200,000 subscribers. It's such an unreal thing.
Yeah. I mean, let's go back maybe 7, 8 years. The thought of people have the thought of like people doing YouTube as a full-time job was completely unheard of and probably be a weird thing. But nowadays, a lot of YouTubers, their sole income, like their full-time job, is making YouTube videos. It's crazy
Yeah,
how
and
how quickly things change.
I also think it takes away a little bit from the original content. I mean, do you guys know the music program called The Voice?
Yeah, yeah. Everywhere, every country has their own version.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Also, did you know that The Voice is a Dutch concept?
Really?
Fun
Well,
So
fact.
you guys are to
Fun.
blame then.
Yeah, we are
You
to
guys-
blame. Well, actually, if you look it up, most of your programs are Dutch concepts. Uh, the Netherlands is very good in making television, but that's not my point. What I wanted to compare within The Voice, I actually watched a few episodes, and the songs I like the best are always the first ones. Just like before they get before someone is going to coach them. And the weird thing about it is that should be the worst one. They should when they get on the show, they should like have their first show before everyone, and that should be the worst one. And while they get through the show, they should get better. But I always think
yeah.
the first one is the best, and the reason for that is that it's the most pure one. And
They always pick like a singer that can already sing. It's not like they pick a person that needs to learn kind of thing.
They're just
well,
teaching
I
you how
think
to sell it. They're not teaching you how to like sing better. It's just, oh, how can I make this formulaic and boring so that most people will watch it and be
e-
like, yeah, that's something I can put in my ears.
exactly like their first performance is all about like it's uh they are um they're very pure. It's like their clothes, it's like their version. It's Yeah, all that. And my problem with my comparison with that with YouTube is that everyone, especially now the higher ups of YouTube, um, I've got a feeling like they have such fancy cameras and such fancy. I don't really identify with them anymore. Like
Yeah,
they used to be those guys who just use the camera of their laptop to talk about shit what happened that day, and they were like really normal people. Like, but now they're made into like YouTube used to be the place where everyone can broadcast, and it still is. Although the people who now run the website aren't really the really the mainstream watcher anymore.
yeah.
That's
They're
really
just
sad.
there. They're
Well,
just there to make sure that YouTube is like running properly. Like even more recently, there have been a lot of complaints about how YouTube is kind of not caring about the content creators, and they're just kind of like looking after like themselves. Like YouTube, like I don't know, like a lot of YouTubers being sued like left, right, and then they're just and then whenever they need support, like YouTube itself doesn't really care.
I mean, you guys probably have already heard about YouTube Heroes, right?
Yeah, it's such a stupid name.
It's, I mean, it's such a bad concept. Like, I get what
It's
they're
the worst
trying to do,
concept.
but it's like they're trying to like, oh, okay, let's put off the work and award people for being whiny about something being offensive or something being wrong. It just doesn't make, I don't know, the entire concept doesn't make sense to me, and you can tell that they're so disconnected from their users.
exactly. I think that's really the problem. They separate the users from the creators.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, moving on from that. Is there is there anything that you guys wanted to mention or talk about, or like
um
anything else?
I'm actually quite interested in maybe you guys view about the future of UPSB. Like we see like the last past years, there's a lot of decrease in new spinners and new people. Uh, and I actually wonder where it will go.
Yeah. I guess reason you go first then.
geez. Well, I've kind of mentioned this in previous podcasts. But really, like, there's always going to be someone pen spinning, and I don't know how much it's going to be like represented by UPSB necessarily. Like, I think as long as the bills get paid and as long as, people moderating the site, making sure things are still running, it's going to be there because there's like this weird devotion to it. I don't even know if I'd call it devotion completely as much as it is like it's kind of nostalgia driven. Like a lot of us started this when we were younger. Like I started this when I was 14 and I'm almost 21 now. Like
Yeah.
people do this because it's part of what made them who they are to an extent. And like I don't mean to make that sound dramatic or anything, but seriously, like I pen spinning has shaped a lot of who I am, like socially, personality wise, and that may not be a good thing, but it's true, and it's why I'm still kind of devoted to it to an extent. It's why I'm still like I feel like I can't just leave. So
that
I think
Yeah.
remi- that remind me of that video that Tech made, like how everyone start pen spinning, like the dark pen spinning recruiter.
Oh, I
Uh,
remember that. He like dressed up
like
and everything. Yeah.
it was beautiful. And what I really like about that video is like the joke with the grades, like sexual education, like A+. Well, where's the lie though? Um, yeah, but I totally agree with you about like moderating. Like I can assure you that I will be like for the next, I think especially the next 5 years, there should be something really weird in my life to actually abandon UPSB. Mostly because I really enjoyed talking in the shoutbox. I had a lot of awesome conversations there, and what I mostly like about it is that it's not like your average shoutbox. It's like people you regularly you speak to like once a week, so you know them somehow, but they're far away enough to ask for like humble advice.
Yeah.
So
It's
I talked a lot about with Nexus about a lot of stuff, and it really helped me to get through some shit and stuff, and it actually is really good.
Yeah.
So
I think
so Nexus, if you are listening, thank you. I
um
love you. I love you. Call me.
confessional video of Fang expressing his love for Nexus. Um, I think this like the same thing that Reason said was that when I joined UPSB, I was I think 13, 14, and I'm 20 now. But like I left, I left UPSB because I was banned, and so I kind of just dropped everything. Like I dropped pen spinning like as a whole, and then I just came back like last year. But the thing was with pen spinning back then was that there was a board, like there was the pen spinning board, but then there were also like friends you made on Skype or on Facebook or whatever. Like I don't know what it was back then, but maybe because we were younger and you talk to someone like a lot, and then you add them on Skype, and then you'd be in a Skype call with them, and then they'd be like your actual friend, like in real life, or maybe even closer than a real life friend, and then and you wouldn't even need to like bond over like pen spinning stuff. It'd just be anything random that you liked, and then kind of building relationships upon that was a really fun part of UPSB back then because everyone was just super fun back then. And so yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys were actually pretty young. I was actually 16 when I got on UPSB.
Wait,
I
how old
am
are you now?
23.
Oh, geez, old man.
Ah.
Well, I'm 20, you're 21, Fang's 23, so really it's only early days.
Well, yeah, I'm very old. Like, well,
Well, compared to everyone else, I mean.
I actually remember that when I started on, I'm actually very happy that my version 4 isn't available for most people because I have a lot of cringeworthy amount of posts that I don't want to share with the world.
If anyone is interested in seeing said posts, I have I have screenshots and links of them if you want to have a look at
Like,
them.
all right, if you guys want to see him, I can only apologize. Like I had like a serious, really bad like manga/random phase where I went through, and I'm completely ashamed for that. So you know that side of me.
I mean, we all went through that phase, especially like that was one of the beautiful things about UPSB is
Everyone went through that.
yeah, like
Everyone was cringy.
there's constantly those people going through that phase, and then there's like us man children who think we're out of it and probably are still just as cringy. Um, but
That's how Zombo and Cam felt running a board for teenagers who acted like little kids.
oh, that must have been fun.
That's probably why they were never around.
They just got traumatized from it.
Yeah, so instead of moderating it, they just hired more kids to moderate the other kids, like slightly older teenagers to moderate like the younger ones.
Till they
Yeah,
grow up and get tired of it.
I remember a conversation with a group of little teenagers talking about sex, and I was really intrigued because these guys were like 11, 12. And then I went through with my opinion about this matter, and they were like, "What? How old are you?" Oops.
I'll leave now.
Guys, talk about when you got some experience.
Like that's
Yeah.
again that's one of the best things about this website is like you kind of hit the nail on the head before where it's like you can check up on people and it's like you know that a lot of them are kind of your friend, but in a really specific, weird way. Like,
it's beautiful.
like
It's really,
I can be more honest sometimes on here than I can with like my own family or like with some of my best friends, just because I know a lot of you will not ever see my face, and we know each other on this context. Like everyone knows, like we can all talk to each other saying this weird shit. It's not that surprising.
It's the inside
I-
jokes that we have as well.
I think UPSB actually managed in my whole UPSB experience. I think the shoutbox has heard almost every part of my love life.
Oh yeah, I think I do remember a couple of those episodes. So.
Like I remember, like I think I was actually whining about that my first girlfriend actually broke up with me in the shoutbox.
Oh.
That was also in the cringy phase, so that's also one of the things I want to forget. But mostly because that's actually the funny part. I actually was actually whining, but the fun part is that breaking up in Dutch is uitmaken. So, but if you translate that directly to English, it's make out. So I actually said I made out with my girlfriend. It was horrible.
That's so good.
It's one of the few like things I'll never forget in my life.
Well, it's kind of hilarious that you're talking about that too, because like just today I was talking with some people about like I don't know, like asking girls out or something. You know, obviously a little bit younger, but like I just remembered through all that. Like I remember a time when I was complaining on Shoutbox as well. It's like, oh, it's like I broke up with this girl. It's like, you know, but it doesn't feel right. It's like I'm not happy anymore. And I actually got advice from Eye Color, who is like now long gone. It's so like cringy, but like everyone's gotta realize we've all been through that. So
I remember there was like back in V3, I think there was a thread about someone actually wanted to have serious love advice, and he actually managed to get report on every move he did, and it was successful. So the whole board was shouting and was like going crazy about this guy getting a girlfriend.
oh my god, is this archived? I want to see this.
It was beautiful. I'm not sure it's it also could be. It was actually one of the few success stories of UPSB. Like everyone was giving advice and he was following them, and it was working. It was beautiful. And I actually did report about when I had my my previous girlfriend. Like back when I first met her, I actually talked about her in the shoutbox. And actually I actually made report about everything I did with her.
Yeah, I think everyone.
Well, almost everything. I'm sorry. I have my limits.
I think everyone kind of like overshared their personal life on UPSB because they felt like it was like they didn't really like. It's hard to say, but like I don't think they thought about like the personal details, but it's more like they felt that UPSB was a community where they could share and everyone could understand it, and it was like fun, you know, like you could share like a funny story and then everyone would just like chime in or joke around and it'd be like really funny. And even for serious advice, yeah. Like even today we talked about fucking circumcisions and shit.
Oh my god.
Like an hour, like half an hour.
Actually, one of the mistakes I made once was that I forgot that Xenix is sometimes on the board. So I actually once revealed a secret that he shouldn't be that wasn't allowed. He wasn't allowed to know yet on UPSB, and I totally forgot that he's never online except when I say something like that. Like
he knows everything.
What is this? It was the time that I heard that my best friend was getting a child.
Yeah.
And also that guy is the same is also friends with Xenix's brother. So I was in the shout box. I was actually very happy and very proud of him and stuff. Uh, but so I said that, and that guy and Xenix came in, and he was like, "Do I know him?" And I was like, "Damn, like he should be knowing that." No, you don't know him. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Shut up. Shut up. So
It's
yeah.
funny.
So
um,
yes, I sometimes forget that, but I'm actually quite happy that the people I actually talk to on the UP's board is that I don't know in person, which is also quite like good for them because I'm quite awkward in person.
oh
I have
yeah, I can understand that.
I've really weird social like I you can talk with me about anything, like nothing is taboo, and some people think that's really awkward, but also uh I have a very philosophical way of thinking in conversations. uh yeah, I actually have no idea how to explain that in English. Maybe you should just meet me one day and you will find out.
Yeah. Well, I can
Like,
tell just from talking with you this short time and right before the podcast, it's like you're definitely an interesting thinker, and I like that. That's the reason why I wanted to talk with you anyways for a while. So um
I'm very glad.
so before we get off on another tangent, it's been about an hour now, a little over. So we're gonna have to wrap it up here. But before we do, Fang, did you still want to try to organize your thing you were talking about?
Yes, yes, yes. I
All
really
right,
want that.
all right. So like,
circumcision party.
no, well, close. So big. This is like a collab video essentially, right?
Yeah, the idea is that I want to organize a collaborating video, and actually the organization of this collab is only me talking through this podcast. So everyone who's listening to this, what I say right now, can join. It's free to summit a combo, um, but
Wait, so you're not gonna post like any threads about it then?
no, nothing.
Ooh,
It's
it's a secret.
only through podcast. So this will be the beautiful called the podcast collaborating, and the deadline I say is within 2 weeks. How about the 6th of November?
Yep, yep.
6th of November is the deadline. Please submit through a Mediafire and give me a personal message with your combo, and you're in.
Sounds like a good idea.
Awesome.
So
It'd be like a
that
reward for people who watch the podcast.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm really
So
excited about this. I had to like get a pen to write it down and everything. I was like, oh boy.
Oh boy, oh
so
boy.
so yes, that's the idea, and like yeah, you guys are also invited. I hereby invite myself as well. Um,
Of course, of course.
yeah, if you do it, go big.
Go
Yeah,
harder,
so
go harder.
everyone put out your agendas. 6th of November deadline for collaborating video. Um, I'm going to edit it in case you're interested. Um, yeah, so it's going to be amazing.
All right. Well, I think
Oh,
it's pretty much it. Unless, Sui, you got anything?
no, I just want to thank Fang for taking time out of his sleeping schedule to be here with us today, because it's very early or very late for him as well, and he
We
had to
are
stay up for about an
we are officially 5 hours past my bedtime.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
Thanks so much for joining. It really was great.
It's
yeah,
really fun. I want to do this again.
and yeah, and yeah, and so hopefully we can have you on again, sometime soon, or even possibly having a European podcast.
If you just message me the day. I don't mind cutting out sleep schedules if I have school. So
Yeah.
because okay, here's the message: kids stay in school, but for me, sometimes some things are more important.
Yeah, like a podcast
Oh.
about pen spinning.
Exactly. This is a form of social. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
I even think I can get some student points for this.
Yeah.
Some extra unique credit.
Yeah. And everyone should thank Hobby as well for still, even through not feeling very well today, he still managed to help organize a podcast and set everything up and running chat right now.
Yeah,
Hobby,
he's the one streaming at the moment as well. So we're just
Hobby?
talking and
Hobby, I love you. Call me.
All right. I think that's it from all of us. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, my special guest and my regular guest, Sui.
Yep.
All right. Good night. Say good night, everyone.
See you guys.
Wel trusten.